Hey babes, welcome back. I hope you're all so well. So as you can tell from the title, in today's video we're going to be talking about buying your first luxury bag, new versus used, and which is the better way to go. Believe it or not, this is a question that I get so much, especially over on my Instagram account. If you don't follow me there, go and follow me. I'll put my name somewhere here on the screen. But yeah, it's just a question that I get a lot, so I thought I would film an entire video on it, and that's what we're doing today. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So before we go ahead and jump into the few points that I made, because as always, I try to break this video down really simple and easy, so you know, it's just easy to take away and so you don't have to sit here forever. But I do quickly wanted to say that at the end of the day, I think it really just comes down to personal preference. But obviously, if you've never purchased a luxury bag before, you might not know what you prefer and what you would like better. So yeah, that's why I'm making this video. So let's go ahead and start off with why it would be a good option to go the pre-loved route. So the first point that I have is obviously budget. If you want to save some money, and if you maybe don't have like a really big budget to spend on a designer bag, then going the pre-loved route can be a really great option. But you really have to make sure that you're going with a trusted seller, that you're going with a company or person that you trust and that you like, because there are a lot of fakes out there, and there are a lot of shitty people out there as well. So you just have to be careful with that. But yeah, if your goal is to save some money, then pre-loved is definitely the way to go. By the way, I did do some videos on some of my favorite pre-loved luxury sites. I'll leave that video in the description box down below in case you're curious. Number two is if the bag that you're looking for is no longer in production. Now obviously this is a no-brainer, but this was something that I really didn't think about in the past. There was a bag that I really wanted. It was a vintage item and I couldn't find it anywhere, and that's how I kind of found the pre-loved market. Well, I knew that it existed obviously, but I just never ventured out to, like, you know, take a look on the pre-loved market, and that particular item made me do that. So yeah, if you're looking for an item that's no longer in production, pre-loved is a great way to go. Moving on to my next point, which is if you're looking to buy a classic. Now by that I mean something like maybe a Louis Vuitton Speedy, okay? That bag is literally everywhere on the pre-loved market. So is a Chanel classic flap. So there are certain bags that are considered timeless and classic that you can find. I mean, the pre-loved market is just flooded with them. And I think if you're looking to purchase that kind of a bag, it's definitely worth looking on the pre-loved market, because you'll never know, you know, what great of a deal you might find. And last but not least for pre-loved is if you're unsure. So let's say you've never purchased a luxury bag before, or maybe even you have purchased one or two in the past, but this particular item that you're looking at, you're not really sure. I think going the pre-loved route is going to be so much better than, you know, going and buying a brand new bag, you know, spending new price money and then ending up with an item you might not like. And you might think, well, Angelique, what are you talking about? But I've seen people, I actually know someone that has always wanted a Louis bag, and then she finally bought one, and she just couldn't live with the idea that she had just spent that much money on a bag. And so she ended up, you know, selling it, but lost a lot of money on it. So that's why I say, if you feel like you might be unsure or you're not sure how you're gonna feel about it, definitely go the pre-loved route. Okay, let's move on to when it might be a good idea to buy a bag new. And my first point is, some of you might already know this, but if you want the experience, okay? So there is a totally, I don't know how to explain this, but it's totally different buying a bag pre-loved versus buying it new. It just is. There's an entire different, you know, experience that comes with it. And if you do want to experience that, wow, how many times can I say that word? That's insane. Then you should probably go the new route. Now, I am personally someone that really enjoys that, and that's why I purchase most of my bags new. I'd rather save up a little longer to buy them new, just because I really like that. Like, I just do. It's just a thing. I love it. So yeah, if that's something that you're curious about, then, you know, buying new might be the better option for you. Next up is if you want a good condition. Obviously, if you're gonna buy something pre-loved, it's gonna be used. Somebody else used it before you bought it. You know, it's obviously not new. And so it comes with some wear and tear. And even if it's minor, it's still gonna have some wear and tear. Obviously, there are some bags on the pre-loved market that are gonna be in brand new condition, but still someone owned it before you. And if you don't wanna mess with that, if you don't wanna have to worry about that, you know, I'm talking about odor, scratches, stains, anything like that, and maybe even just stains on the interior. You know, chances are that you buy a bag pre-loved and it is gonna have some sort of sign of wear. Is that how you say it? You guys get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, if you don't want that, and if you know that you might not like that, yeah, definitely go new. Next up is if the price isn't right. So let's say you're only getting like $100 or a $200 discount. Why do that? Just spend a little more money and get the item new. I've seen this so much when I worked at a boutique that sold pre-loved designer items where the price was just so high and literally only like $100 off from the new price. Like, why? Why? Don't do that to yourself. Like, it's really hard for me to tell people, hey, you know, this is a great deal when I really know that it's not. So definitely make sure it's at least like a good amount of a discount. And then last but not least is if you're impatient, and that's me in a nutshell. Like, I am so impatient when it comes to buying a designer bag pre-loved. Oftentimes there's a lot of research involved and a lot of waiting, and not everybody wants to do that. And if you're someone that doesn't want to do that, new is definitely a better option for you. And yeah, that is it for today's video. If you guys have any more questions, please leave them in the comment section down below, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Mwah.